Durango TV News brings you Healthy Living in the Four Corners, featuring local experts on wellness, nutrition, and lifestyle to keep you healthy and fit to enjoy all the region has to offer. Brought to you by PhD Advanced Nutrition, changing your life through optimal health and wellness.
Welcome back to Healthy Living in the Four Corners. I'm Dr. Ashley Lucas, founder of PhD Advanced Nutrition in Durango. As a registered dietitian with a doctorate in nutrition, I'll help you attain optimal weight management and wellness with twice-monthly tips on healthy living. In past segments, we've spent quite a bit of time discussing carbohydrates. Today, we'll move on to the ever-feared nutrient, dietary fat. I create handfuls of meal plans weekly for patients in my clinic to combat a variety of maladies such as chronic diarrhea, constipation, heartburn, inflammation, autoimmune conditions, weight management, and much more. The one thing in common with each meal plan is that they are supported on a foundation of consuming plenty of dietary fat. The amount varies for each individual. However, on all accounts, it's a substantial increase from what most of us are accustomed to eating. We fear dietary fat because we've been inundated with media messages that link fat consumption to heart disease. We're told that if we eat fat, we get fat, that eating fat causes our arteries to harden, and we correlate that to the event of watching bacon grease harden as we pour it down the drain. This correlation of dietary fat consumption causing heart disease is equivalent to saying eating too many vegetables will turn us green. It just doesn't happen. Our fear of dietary fat stems from the 1960s when a study of populations in 7 different countries was published by researcher Ansel Keys. He tracked dietary fat consumption and heart disease in 22 nations. It was called the 7 countries studies because it was only in 7 countries out of the 22 that he saw an increase in heart disease from increased fat consumption. He conveniently omitted the data from the other 15 countries that didn't support his hypothesis. If Keys had included that data, the significance of his findings would have been completely demolished. Since his inaccurate findings supported the expectations of many in the scientific community of those times, it was adopted as a part of the Dietary Guidelines for Americans. His faulty conclusions made it onto the front cover of Time magazine, and from there it became gospel. From that point forward, our truly unfounded fear of dietary fat grew, as did our rates of obesity and inflammation. One published study after another attempted to support this diet-heart connection, and most are met with poor research designs or are completely unsupportive of the argument. A study published in 2012 went so far as to conclude eggs are nearly as bad for you as cigarettes. How could this be? How could a natural whole food, the most perfect natural combination of both fat, protein, vitamins, and minerals, by the way, be equated to a cigarette? It just doesn't make any sense. We can look at this another way. We are advised to consume unprocessed foods. It makes sense to us that we should consume whole foods in their natural state. So my question is, why would a fat-free egg beater be healthier than a real egg? Why should you have to remove the yolk for the egg to be healthy? Why would fat-free milk do the body better than whole? Why should margarine or any butter substitute, which we now know are terrible for us, be better than butter or lard, vegetable oil or canola oil versus olive oil or animal fat, fat-free yogurt versus whole-fat plain yogurt, and most importantly, bacon? Bacon is supposed to come from a pork belly, not a turkey. Accepting dietary fat as healthy is difficult. It's a huge shift in mindset it takes time to overcome. This week, take a look at the foods you're eating. Do you avoid dietary fat? Do you count calories? If so, I recommend you start looking at food in a new way. If you'd like to know more about healthy consumption of dietary fat, visit my website at phdadvancednutrition.com. I'm Dr. Ashley Lucas for Healthy Living in the Four Corners.
This edition of Healthy Living in the Four Corners has been brought to you by PhD Advanced Nutrition, changing your life through optimal health and wellness.